In to the first show of FutureShock Wrestling's 12th year, we all kind of knew to expect the unexpected. But nobody expected the unexpected that took place at FutureShock Uproar. Find out all about it on this episode of FutureShock Access. Hello, and thank you for joining us for another episode of FutureShock Access. We are moments removed from the finalization of the 11th year of FutureShock's calendar, and we headed straight into the 12th with no pause for breath. Before we go any further, let's take a look at all the results from FutureShock Uproar at Stockport Masonic Guildhall, including a couple of things we certainly weren't ready for. In the opening contest, the returning Sam Bailey overcame Deadly Damon Lee, accompanied by the manager of champions, Chris Egan. Chaos seems to follow Wonderland wherever they go, and it certainly followed Henry T. Grod into his scheduled singles match with the gentleman John McGregor. This was restarted as a 6-person tag team event, and in the end, it was a Wonderland combination of Grod, Noah, and Penny Dreadful that overcame the makeshift team of John McGregor, Delicious Danny Hope, and the It Girl Melanie Price. Liverpool's number one, Zach Gibson, scored an unpopular victory over relative newcomer Ashton Smith. Mark Massa scored a huge pinfall victory over Charlie Garrett. FutureShock's new Adrenaline champion, James Drake, successfully retained his title after a challenge by Bubblegum. As the night drew to a close, the Uprising, led by FutureShock champion, the man for all seasons, came out with every intention of celebrating the retirement of the one and only Dave Rain. But the party was crashed in no uncertain terms by the returning T-Bone. A match was made, and by the end of the night, we had a brand new FutureShock heavyweight champion, proving that anything can happen in FutureShock Wrestling.
Thank you, Chris. With me at this time is the new FutureShock champion, T-Bone. And T-Bone, what a return. The belt is yours. How do you feel?
How do I feel? 3 months of hell. I did what I had to.
The champ is T-Bone.
FutureShock faithful, Bailey is back. Sam Bailey is back in a FutureShock ring for the first time in what feels like far too long for many of the fans. Tonight, he exploded back onto the scene with a huge win over Deadly Damon Lee. Let's head over now and hear from Sam Bailey.
Thank you, Chris Brooker. Standing with me is the winner of the opening contest here at FutureShock Uproar at the Stockport Guildhall, Super Silent Sam Bailey. Congratulations on your victory. Where have you been?
I mean, first and foremost, great to be back at FutureShock. Great to be out there first, putting a big W in the win column for Sam Bailey. But at the moment, wrestling isn't the only thing I'm doing. In fact, like over the past few months, especially over the summer, I was out there. What now? Can you not see?
Now, I think you remember who I am, Sam. I don't draw this moustache on for nothing. I'm a very important guy. And you know that, Sam. You know exactly who I am. And I don't care where you've been. You've not been here. You see, this is our yard now. Our pitch. And I smell scandal. Match fixing. You know, Sam, you know that you shouldn't have won that match. And what I propose is we do it again. And we see.
Name the time, name the place, I'll beat the big guy again. All right? Say that, G-Man.
Let's go back to Chris Brooker.
Did you see that?
In a night of huge surprises, there was another surprise of a slightly different kind. After many months of trying to find his focus, Mark Massa seemed to discover it with a huge victory over Charlie Garrett.
Who'd have thunk it, ladies and gentlemen? Mark Massa gets a tick in the win column, and he's got his first victory here in FutureShock Wrestling. Mr. Massa.
G-Man, this right here is what a winner looks like. Winner! All you fans out there sitting there watching me, this is a winner.
Exciting adrenaline championship match we witnessed. James Drake, congratulations on your victory. You retained the adrenaline championship.
Of course I retained it. I'm James Drake. Of course I retained it. Bubblegum. You were good, but you just weren't good enough. And Sonna. Getting in my business. Sonna Durson. Tell you what, next time you get in my business, it'll be the last thing that you do.
The FutureShock 11th anniversary show featured a match that many are calling the best wrestling match to take place on British soil this year between extraordinary Jack Gallagher and Liverpool's #1 Zach Gibson. You can see that match for yourself as well as the entire show by going to futureshockwrestling.co.uk and viewing it on demand. However, one man less satisfied with the outcome of that night was Zach Gibson, who tapped out to the extraordinary Jack Gallagher. Going into FutureShock Uproar, he made it very clear his focus was going forwards and not backwards during his match with Ashton Smith. Let's hear now from Liverpool's #1, Zach Gibson.
Thank you, Chris Brooker. After that epic singles encounter,
You tapped out! You tapped out, they said. You tapped out, they kept shouting. Well, who tapped out in the end? Hey? Hey? Just like I said, just like I promised, I dropped him on the deck, I wrapped his arm around his head, I locked the Shankly gate, and Ashton Smith, you tapped out. I am en route, back on track, to the top, Liverpool's #1, China's #1, and once again soon to be recognised as FutureShock's rightful #1. So now the gaffer's getting me on the blower, telling me that I have to wrestle, Charlie Garrett, I think. It might have been Charlie Garrett, it might have been Sam Bailey, it might have been Ben Murray. I don't really know, and I don't really care, to be honest. You line anybody up, anybody from around the country, anybody from around the world, I will do what I always do, and that is prove that I am Liverpool's #1. And I never walk alone.
And that is everything for this edition of Access.
Get out of the way, Brooker! Give me that microphone! What in all that is good and holy was that, FutureShock? I have reigned champion for over a year, and that's how it has to end. Bone! T-Bone, whatever your damn name is. You may have won this battle, but the war is not over. I am coming for my belt. And where the hell were you guys? Huh? You guys had one job. Keep T-Bone away from me. Keep him away from the ring. And you guys couldn't even do that. I want my rematch. I will have my rematch.